Every game begins the same way.
To the Birdland Nation, to each one of you who lives and breathes baseball, who feels the pulse of our team, the Baltimore Orioles. Before we dive deep into the hottest news of the moment, I need to ask a favor of each one of you. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel. Only with your subscription do you guarantee access to the fastest, deepest, and most authentic analyses of the O's. We are not just another sports channel. We are your trusted source with a unique and genuine perspective from someone who lives the daily life of our franchise intensely. With every home run, every strikeout, every O that echoes in the stadium, we will be here, ready to dissect every move, every strategy, and every decision. Our analysis is done from the inside out, combining insider information with an objective and professional view. Therefore, join our community because here passion and information go hand in hand. It is with this same seriousness and commitment that I address the news that has been stirring the corridors of Camden Yards and generating heated discussions among us, the fans. The situation with our coaching staff is, without a doubt, the most delicate and crucial topic right now. Since the surprising departure of Brandon Hyde in May, uncertainty has hung over our franchise. The decision to let go of Hyde, who led our team to 2 consecutive postseasons, was a shock to many. However, the disappointing performance in the first half of the season with a 15-29 record weighed heavily on the decision. As Jeff Passan of ESPN rightly said, the hope was that a new leader could inject new life and turn around the situation of one of Major League Baseball's most disappointing teams. The truth is that, even with some of the league's most promising young talent, our team has not been able to translate that potential into consistent victories. It's a dilemma that extends beyond the field, affecting our front office's long-term strategy. We need a commander who knows how to get the most out of this group, who understands the mentality of an ascending team, but who can also handle the pressure and expectations of a fan base that longs for a World Series. The regular season is nearing its end, and the time to act is now. The search for a full-time manager is intensifying, and one name in particular has been strongly circulating behind the scenes: David Ross. The mention of Ross is not random. He is a 2-time World Series champion and has the experience of having led a rebuilding team, the Chicago Cubs. Ross's situation with the Cubs is in itself a fascinating case study. After guiding the team through a rebuilding process and leading them to a winning season in 2023, the decision to fire him to hire Craig Counsell took everyone by surprise. Counsell's record-breaking $40 million 5-year contract was an aggressive move by Chicago, but the question remains: did Ross deserve to be fired? I believe, based on my sources, that the answer is no. He did a solid job with a 262 to 284 record in 4 seasons. Ross showed that he can develop young talent and create a work culture, something that will be extremely valuable for our young roster. A team's chemistry and mentality are just as important as raw talent, and Ross has demonstrated the ability to cultivate these aspects. What makes David Ross's candidacy even more attractive for the Orioles is his experience as a player. He knows what it takes to win at a high level. His winner mentality is something we desperately need for our group of young players who have already proven their talent but need a leader to teach them the art of winning. Let's think about Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, and Corbin Carroll, a spectacular group. They're the future of the franchise, but they need someone who knows how to channel their energy and talent towards victory. The pressure of playing in Baltimore with a passionate and demanding fan base can be overwhelming for an inexperienced coach. Ross, with the experience of having participated in 2 World Series, would be the perfect choice. He understands the pressure and, more importantly, knows how to handle it. His recent track record with the Cubs, although it ended abruptly, is proof that he is capable of building a team from scratch and turning it into a winning team. The impact of a hire like David Ross would be felt immediately, not only in the clubhouse but throughout the entire organization. The choice of a new manager is not just about replacing a figure, it's about defining the franchise's philosophy and direction for the coming years. With our young and promising core, the decision of who will take over the coaching staff is perhaps the most important one the Orioles front office will make in recent years. We are at a crucial point. Either we consolidate our position as one of the emerging MLB powerhouses, or we run the risk of seeing our window of opportunity close. Ross's experience in dealing with raw talent, teaching them the discipline and mentality of a champion, is an invaluable asset. He would not just be a manager, he would be a mentor, a guide for the next generation of the O-Stars. His credentials as a two-time World Series champion and his history as a National League Manager of the Year with the Cubs, while not mentioned in the original news, is crucial information that I add to our analysis, further reinforcing his qualifications. The transition of a manager is always a moment of uncertainty, but also of renewal. What we need now is a strong and clear voice in the locker room, someone who can unite the group and make them play with passion and purpose. Brandon Hyde's departure, as painful as it was, opened the door for this opportunity. And honestly, the coaching carousel is one of the most important in professional baseball. Every year, experienced and successful names become available, and it is at this moment that a franchise like ours must be aggressive. And the hiring of Ross, for me, would be an aggressive and strategic move. It would be a sign that the front office is committed to immediate victory and is not afraid to invest in top-tier talent, whether on the field or in the dugout. And the fans, the passionate Birdland Nation, crave this kind of attitude. We want to see the management committed to winning, willing to do whatever it takes to bring the World Series back to Baltimore. Let's be frank, the first half of the season was full of disappointments. Our young players had their ups and downs, and the lack of consistency was a recurring problem. The pressure from the fans, which has always been present, has increased exponentially. The low chant during the national anthem has never lost its strength, but the anxiety for victories has become palpable. And this is where a manager like would make a difference. His ability to manage the locker room, to remain calm under pressure, and to get the best out of each player would be the key to turning the game around. He is not just a tactical strategist, he is a leader. And a leader on a team like ours is what makes the difference between a promising season and a winning season. And with names like Adley, Gunnar, and Carroll, our potential is unlimited. We need a manager who thinks big, who believes in our team, and who knows how to turn it into a winning machine. The choice of the next Orioles manager is not just a decision, it's a declaration of intent. And the intent for me must be clear: to win now. The window of opportunity with our core of young talent is open, and we cannot afford to wait. Brandon Hyde did a spectacular job of leading us out of the rebuild, but the next phase, that of becoming a constant powerhouse, requires a different mentality and leadership. What is expected of a team that has been to the playoffs twice in a row is, at the very least, a consistency that we have not had. The disappointments have accumulated, and the fans' patience has begun to wear thin. The hiring of David Ross would be a vote of confidence in our roster, a sign that the front office believes in its potential and is willing to bring in the best available leadership to guide them toward a championship. Ross has the experience, the history, and the mentality of a champion. He knows what it takes to win a World Series, and that experience is invaluable for a team that is one step away from reaching its full potential. When we analyze Ross's trajectory with the Cubs, we realize that he was fundamental in the transition of a rebuilding team into a competitive one. He dealt with the departure of big names and the rise of young talent, all under the pressure of one of the biggest fan bases in MLB. His firing, as the news rightly pointed out, was a surprise, but not due to a lack of merit. It was a reflection of the unique opportunity to hire a name like Craig Counsell, something that few franchises could ignore. This situation, however, places Ross as a prime candidate for any managerial opening, and the Orioles should be his priority. With an exciting, potential-filled roster and a passionate fan base, Baltimore is the perfect place for a second chance. And for us, it would be the opportunity to have a manager who has already proven he is capable of building a winning team. Our expectation as fans is that the front office will not settle for a second-tier name. We want the best option available. And in the current market, that option is David Ross. He would bring new energy, a new perspective, and most of all, a winning mentality to our clubhouse. Our team needs a jolt of enthusiasm, a leadership that inspires them to go beyond. We need a manager who knows how to handle the pressures of the postseason and who can get the most out of each player in every game. Our future, the future of the Birdland Nation, depends on strategic decisions like this one. We cannot fail now. The roster is ready. The talent is there. All that's missing is the key piece, the right commander. The urgency of the situation is undeniable. With just a month and a half left in the regular season, the Orioles front office needs to act quickly and accurately to ensure the next manager is in place before the start of next year. The hiring of David Ross, a two-time World Series champion, would be a move that would send a clear message to all of Major League Baseball. The Baltimore Orioles are back, not just as a promising team, but as a team that is ready to compete for a championship. His experience in leading a rebuilding team and turning it into a winning force with the Cubs is proof that he is the right name for this transition. He has the ability to develop young talent and create a winning culture, something the O's desperately need. Hyde's firing was a shock, but the opportunity that has opened up is golden. We cannot waste it. Our Birdland Nation is one of the most passionate in baseball. With every game, every O chant, we show our loyalty, but our patience has limits. The disappointments of the first half of the season were hard to swallow. And now we want to see the front office take the right steps to ensure a victorious future. The hiring of David Ross, a manager who has already proven his worth, would be the initial step to put us back on the right track. He is not just a popular name, he is a strategic and professional choice. His background as a player and as a manager gives him a unique perspective, and that perspective is what we need to guide our promising roster toward a championship. The combination of his tactical knowledge with his leadership ability would be a perfect formula for success in Baltimore. The time to act is now, and the name is David Ross. The Baltimore Orioles, following the departure of Brandon Hyde in May and a disappointing first half of the season, are in search of a new full-time manager. The news points to David Ross, a two-time World Series champion with experience in guiding the Chicago Cubs rebuild, as a top candidate. Ross, who was surprisingly fired by the Cubs after Craig Counsell became available, is seen as the ideal choice to lead the Orioles' young and promising roster, given his experience in leadership and talent development. What do you think of the team's recent decisions? Do you believe David Ross is the right name to lead the Orioles? What would be the best strategy for the next games or for the next trade window? Share your opinions in the comments. If you agree with our analysis or have a different opinion, like the video, comment on your thoughts, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel to continue receiving the most exclusive analyses and daily updates on the Baltimore Orioles.